We're friggin' nobodies. We're Jacob and Noah. We're friggin' nobodies. Welcome to our show. We're friggin' nobodies. We don't know much. We're friggin' nobodies. We're old and out of touch.
We on? Hey.
Good day. We're on.
Hi. How's it going?
Friggin' Nobodies.
Yeah. Do we have a sponsor this week?
I never even thought about it. Do we have a sponsor?
Oh, we absolutely do. And we're going to bring that up later. Isn't that right?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of us. I mean, remember. Who our
Well,
sponsor
we've got
was.
it written down somewhere, I'm sure. That.
Anyways, this week's episode is on beauty, and we are friggin' Nobodies.
And we're beautiful. And so are you.
Are you ugly? Why not try being beautiful? Beauty by Aphrodite.
I'll go first.
Sure,
I don't
go
know if they're
first.
Beautiful, but
Go for it, buddy.
I read a bit of yours when you weren't looking.
Uh-oh.
That's why I wanted to go first. I wanted to get this out of the way. Excuse me. Here we go. On beauty. So, as a rule, I like words. They're fun to play with. I don't, however, put a good deal of faith into their objective worth as a means to describe, well, anything, really. Try to describe to your friend over the phone what a painting at a museum looks like, and ask your friend to paint it. It's going to take a lot more than 1,000 words to get that duplicate to be anywhere near the same. Some words are fine, like conjunctions, articles, those little mortar words that you use to be little grammar traffic cops, get some consistency in conversation.
Sure.
Those are fine. But words like love or art or beauty, they're a pain in the ass. Ask 1,000 people to tell you what beautiful is, and you'll get at least 1,000 different answers. As a descriptor, beauty is worthless without context. And that context is always wrapped in layers of personal, subjective experience. Sure, there are some social and cultural constructs that we mutually agree upon concerning beauty, but they're also wrapped in their own cultural norms. You know, like the ring neck people, or the people with a big plate in their lip.
Yes.
Or whatever the hell was going on in the nut jobs with the huge wigs and like the
Sure,
lead-based
yeah.
foundation in Mozart's time. But, you know, that's just the people part. An object or a moment is a whole other kettle of fish. Like I've sat at sunset looking over a still lake without a soul to be seen and felt like I was basking in beauty. Only to find, in the morning, that sunrise on that same deck chair with a terrible hangover on account of all the toasting beauty the night before, that beauty wasn't there anymore. So is it just an appreciation of the moment? Is it an endorphin rush or whatever nonsense that's in front of your eyes suddenly beautiful? I don't care. None of that's fun. The word might be a pain in the ass because it's so vague, but that lack of focus is where all the fun is. If I were to pick a name at random, let's say Cara Delevingne. You know her?
No.
She was in City of a Thousand Planets. She was the main actress.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know the movie.
Yeah,
I like that movie.
and I tell you that she's not as beautiful as a young Orlando Bloom. Well, that's going to be an argument for some people. Not an argument that has any real meaning. Because it all starts with personal preference or experience and then quickly devolves into the minutiae of facts or physical features or some other esoteric garbage that tries to encapsulate what is essentially a personal predilection. I've lost hours to these kind of silly arguments, and I will continue to do so, especially since young Orlando Bloom is always going to be the prettiest lady in the room. Always. Beauty, the concept, is next to useless without context. And since I have to think about this anyway, I figure if you're going to discuss the merits of an object or a moment or a person with someone else, then the context shouldn't be the subject of that discussion. It should be the people conversing. That should be what you're talking about. So if you're ever stuck in a conversation with someone and they are trying and inevitably failing to impress upon you some beautiful thing that they saw, then dig in to find out why they found it beautiful. And not how it was beautiful. Those are the answers that matter. It tells you more about the person than about the object. Or you could just tell them they're wrong and provide an example of something even more beautiful, because those conversations are way more they're way more fun.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay,
Because
that's
I
good.
just wanted to do a big broad one. I didn't want to get into details.
No, you talked about things I don't bring up at all. That's good. Okay, I'll try to read mine. I don't think it's as good, but here we go. Beauty can knock you on your ass.
You're right. It is bad.
I'll start again.
Yeah, you better. I'll shut up this time.
Beauty can knock you on your ass. It's visceral, surreal, absolutely primal, yet cerebral and profound. And I can't list enough adjectives. When I was in my 20s, I was dating a woman I had met at a tree planting camp. And one day we were walking along the street and she noticed me eyeing this woman. I thought I was subtle, but perhaps her observation skills were too finely tuned. She probably noticed as well that the woman was beautiful, and that's why she was watching me so closely. In any case, once she called me out on it, I said, "Why is it that you can remark on how beautiful a dress is, something man-made, and yet I can't recognize the beauty of a woman, something God made?" And she snapped back quickly. "I like how you disguise your sexism as poetry." I was okay with this because all I heard was, "You're poetic." But beauty is real. It doesn't have to be a woman or a man. It could be a mountain, a forest, a river, a waterfall, various animals, stars in the sky, a string quartet, a turn of phrase, a plate of food, a dance, or a conversation around the fire. It's something very high up in our psyches, and we aim for it. We seek it. I know there was a documentary that tried to give us a ratio and apply it across all sorts of various concepts of beauty, but I'd rather it be mysterious, more nebulous. We shouldn't be able to point at it directly. Only suspect it or be overcome by it, experience it in various places. We can describe beauty. Perhaps our descriptions can even be beautiful. It's at least partly innate. There are people, as much as you may not want to admit it, that are definitely not beautiful. Perhaps even ugly. Both words exist. We shouldn't ignore that fact. I was thinking about calling this "We Are Not Beautiful."
That's not a bad title. And true.
I haven't looked up the stats, but I'm going to claim anyway that beautiful people have certain advantages. And if they know how to leverage those, it can be incredibly beneficial. Contrarily, ugly people have certain disadvantages, and we have decided, silently and in dark corners, that their lives will be more difficult. We can deny this, but that reeks of intentional ignorance. This obviously doesn't mean anything about who those people are, and we, likewise, have a concept of a beautiful and ugly person. Not the physical form, but the person. I might say soul. Yeah. You might say personality. It doesn't really matter. We have the concept. We know that one is a compliment and the other is far from it. While you may argue that physical beauty is beyond your control, but personality is within it, I'm not so sure. Beauty is more accidental in both cases, and I'm not sure you can control what kind of person you become, your experiences, your particular brain chemistry, the culture around you. Your free will is a small part of that, but just a small part. I believe in free will enough, however, that I believe we can make steps towards beauty in ourselves. And we should make those steps. We look around us, see the physical forms, the spiritual or more esoteric forms, everything from mountains and rivers to the kindness of a stranger or the love of a family member. We aim at beauty and we avoid ugly. In some cases, I guess we can flip that if we're angry with the nature of existence, if the state of being disgusts us in some way. Yet the concepts still sit there, unavoidable, directly impacting who you are. Beauty is dangerous. Anything writ large is. It can manipulate you, change you, and make you behave in strange ways. But it deserves our respect and our attention.
I've had that issue. I've been in the presence of someone that was good looking enough I couldn't speak. It stinks.
I have. I once spoke to a French woman who liked a lot of the same literature as me and was incredibly beautiful. And we had a great conversation at a party one night. And then I was walking down the street on Commercial Drive, and I saw her walking towards me on the same side of the street, and she sort of lifted up her head like she recognized me and got ready to wave. I immediately put my head down, walked to the other side of the street, and headed as far away as I possibly could. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
There's no way I can talk to that woman and be normal.
No, I think...
It will put me on edge the whole time.
I was at a friend's house, and they had a book by Eckhart Tolle in their house. Mm-hmm. You know that dude?
Yeah.
It was some garbage where he sat down and took all the prophets, wise men, and spiritual leaders, and just took quotes from them, put them all in a book, and said, I did this. You learn a lot from me, and I was so angry. And I immediately went to my buddy and said, why the hell do you have this garbage book here? And he said, it's not mine. It's my wife's. So I went to his wife. I said, why do you have this garbage book here? And she said, it was lent to me. I haven't even read it. My friend gave it to me. My friend was a Hollywood actress. Well, Canadian Hollywood actress. She was on a serial television show. I'm not going to say which one. But she actually showed up later that night. And I went up to her and said, why do you got this piece of garbage here? And she started to explain it. And I stopped arguing right away.
She was too beautiful to argue
I
with.
thought there might be a chance she would like me, and if I was angry at her, she would. And I was driving, getting a ride home, and I thought, what the hell is wrong with me, man?
Yeah, it messes with your head.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder what it does to their heads.
Beautiful people?
Yeah.
I imagine it does the same thing as being popular or rich does.
Like you're probably walking around deluded all the time.
I remember
wondering how ugly people have such a hard time in life. I mean, everybody's nice to me all the time.
I don't know.
Or bitter.
Might not realize it. I don't honestly know.
I know I've become a little reactionary. If a beautiful waitress is flirting with me at a restaurant, I will tip a little bit less because I feel like she's trying to manipulate me, and I get bitter about that.
In high school, I called it pretty girl syndrome, where all the girls who were pretty pretended to be dumb.
Right, to get attention.
And, you'd get people to do things. I was good at doing homework.
Yes.
They would always come and ask me for homework, not because I was good looking, it's because they wanted the homework.
No, I've seen it in workplaces as well, too. And not just women, but pretty people in general trying to...
tried so hard to take advantage of
manipulate you.
And it just doesn't work for this.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it goes beyond people, too, right? So let's go beyond people a little bit. Because, like I said, I could see it in a string quartet or a mountain or a stream and all these other places. But you brought up an interesting point there about how the next day you may not see that anymore.
Yeah. It distills down. And I was wondering, because I had to think about that. Turns out I think about these when I write them a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, even my concept of beauty changes. And some things don't resonate at the same time or even in the same way. Like things that I immediately found beautiful, 3 weeks later, I'm bored with. They just don't do it. So is beauty just a reaction? And if it is, well, that's not quite the same thing. Is it a bunch of endorphins? But again, as I said, that's boring. We know what we're aiming for. You, not succinctly, but in 5 minutes, put down many of the aspects of beauty. And you're right. Like, it should do all of these things. But to put your finger on like what beauty is it's impossible.
Yeah, and so it should be. It's better that way.
It is.
I don't want to know Wolverine's origin story. It's better than being mysterious.
Yeah, and when I think of beauty, that was the first thing that came to mind.
I mean, not Wolverine. But the concept of having some mystery in there, it's intriguing because...
all that, yes, the vagueness is great.
If things become disposable, that's because you figured them out. Right? Once you've figured out, like, oh, I get it now, and then you can move on from it.
I have a great example
But if you can't figure it out, you stay intrigued.
That dude from Weezer who came out and said, yeah, I know the formula for a pop song, a popular song. I can just make them all day. It doesn't matter. All I can do is produce hits because I know the formula. First of all, that's incredibly arrogant. And B, I fail to see that being true.
He didn't keep releasing hits.
No.
Well, because there's other things going on there too. Fashion of the times, the sound you have, the look
and
you have.
He might have hit on it. And whatever formula that he used worked for that moment, but it passes. I've had, maybe with you, definitely with a bunch of my friends, long arguments about, who the most beautiful lady in Hollywood is. We didn't phrase it like that because we were probably drunk and yelling at one another, but that was the argument.
Last time we talked about it, I think that was the word we used.
Yeah, it'll change all the time.
Some people, when they're older, they have one they chose when they were younger, and they just stick with it forever.
Yeah.
That's who I'm always going to mention now. It's going to be Isabella Johnny, whatever the hell.
Oh, Isabella Johnny, yeah.
Yeah, someone. You're going to pick someone, and you might just stick with that.
I found out the other day Winona Ryder is older than I am.
Because you remember the moment you discovered her beauty way back then, and you're still hanging on to that moment all those years later, even though she's older and weathered now. And if you saw her today, for the first time, you might not think that. But you remember that moment and how it struck you at that time.
And the crappy thing is, all of them are beautiful. I mean, they're the reason they're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's a pointless argument.
Yeah, they probably all are. And it's I don't know if it's the most superficial kind of beauty, the one for a human being or not. It definitely passes with time in a way that a river or a waterfall might not, because I can go back to a waterfall I saw years ago and still think it's beauty today, whereas it's beautiful today. But there's something, maybe it's not superficial. It's just so temporary.
What, human beauty?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
fleeting.
true.
It's fleeting.
I mean, honestly, my lady's beautiful.
Yeah, well, mine is too, but we have a vested interest now,
so,
right? There's more than just looks going on there.
Yes.
Because we're also talking about Hollywood people here,
Yeah, they're not real people, though.
And there's those ones you are just judging off looks because you don't know them. You're not living with them. You don't.
Oh, except for
the beauty of
except for the
of my
raw
wife
physical
is
acting
a
talent
deeper,
of Gal Gadot.
stronger thing than me looking at a Gal Gadot. I guess I don't even remember totally what she looks like right now, but it's irrelevant, I suppose. She was Wonder Woman, so that does something for you.
No, it doesn't, because her acting was enough that it was unattractive. She's terrible at it.
Must have liked the costume at least.
Linda Carter was a much better Wonder Woman.
Again, it's a moment you're remembering from back when you were a kid. For me, it was I Dream of Jeannie. I knew when I saw that show, I was like, oh, I'm straight. When I first saw that.
The reason I know Winona Ryder is 2 years older than I am is because I thought, well, I did find her beautiful when I was young. I had a big old crush on her. But I don't want to revisit those movies that I had a crush on her because I was 13 at the time and it seemed weird to go back and go, yeah, I had a crush on her. Yeah, I might have got a bit older. It's not fair, but all that sentiment is still 13 years old. That's stuck here in this old body.
Yes.
So I don't know what to do with that. Like, it doesn't transfer.
Well, you've nurtured it for a long time, apparently, because you still remember it now.
I do.
It's stuck with you somehow.
I remember
all these years later.
When I was working where you work now.
Yeah.
Someone asked me.
Not much longer, but yeah.
Someone asked me which person I would, in Hollywood, which person would I punch if I could get away with it?
I got a list.
Who do I dislike so much that I would punch if I could get away with it? And I said, Winona Ryder. They said, really? Why? I said, 'cause I'd get to meet her. Why would I punch someone I hate? I don't care about that. I want to meet someone I like. I have to punch her to do it? That's a sacrifice I'd make.
No, fair enough.
But yeah.
Have you ever cried over a piece of music or a piece of art?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. But the first time I did it was for Babe.
Well, you had the pig movie, yeah.
Because
it's a beautiful movie.
I went out with my girlfriend at the time to visit my grandmother, who was dying in the hospital. And we went to go visit my grandmother. And we came back and we stayed the night in the hotel. And the next morning, Babe was on the television. And my girlfriend was getting ready, and I just put Babe on. And it got to the big ending, and I forgot the guy, James someone. Whoever the tall guy is.
Anyways, yeah.
James Wood.
I know he's not, but I know who you mean,
Yeah. He was telling the pig, hey, good job there. And I was crying my eyes out. And my girlfriend came out and she said, you're crying at Babe? The hell is wrong with you? And I know what I was crying.
It's a good film.
My grandmother was dying in the hospital, and it was a release.
Okay, fair enough. It's still a good film.
It was the film that made me do it. It was the trigger, the release, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I've cried over commercials at times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've also cried over The Elephant Man. Now, he's not beautiful.
No,
I don't think
the
by any
sentiment is.
It's sad.
It's definitely sad.
But there was a moment in particular where it started. He was brought home by Anthony Hopkins, I think is the doctor, and he brings him back to his house.
Figures Hannibal Lecter would do
I can't remember who plays the Elephant Man now, but it doesn't really matter. John Merrick, it's not his name. He wasn't given that as a child.
It wasn't the guy who played Mask either.
And he goes into the house, and he's used to, living in a cage and people gawking at him, people paying $5 to look at this hideous elephant man. So a doctor brings him home, and he sits down on the couch, and the wife is like, can I bring you a cup of tea? And he starts crying, and they're like, well, what have we done? What are you so sad about? He's like, nobody's ever been so nice to me before. And it was a beautiful little moment in the film. And the notion that he would cry over something like, are you ugly? Why not try being beautiful? Beauty by Aphrodite.
Well, yeah. Hey, welcome back. That was our sponsor.
Beauty was our sponsor.
Yeah, sure. Works great. What were we talking about?
Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beauty.
I meant specifically. Or specifically. I mean, that's like wrong.
I don't know specifically anymore. Kind of faded from me, but it was about beauty anyways.
Yeah. It wasn't Hollywood actresses.
No, we were past that. We were trying to go on to the beauty of the Elephant Man.
That's
and
right.
that moment.
Yeah.
That little moment in the film. Which was a beautiful moment, even though there was not necessarily beautiful people in the moment. I don't know if there was even beautiful phrases being said. But
you know something.
the notion that someone could be touched by kindness so deeply that it would move them to tears in that moment, and the notion that the other people were so unaware that that was even a possibility.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a beautiful human moment.
it didn't even occur to them that somebody could be touched by a moment like that. It's just a cup of tea. What's the big deal?
The lady that I was going out with at the time, when I was crying over Babe,
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen The Elephant Man, but she was a huge David Lynch fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had seen it, and she summarized the movie for me. And she did a John Merrick impersonation, and it was, "My name is John Merrick. I have a bulbous penis."
You've said this to me before, this line.
That's the only.
So that's where it's from.
That's the only thing I know about that.
He
movie.
does not say that in the film.
You don't say.
Yeah, it's at that moment I start crying when I watch the film, and I pretty much don't stop crying until about 5 minutes after it's over. The ending is brutal.
Well, you're not selling me on this, really.
It's also a really sad moment, the ending, but it's
So
incredible.
you're saying a man who's got elephantitis? It's not a happy movie?
Well, this is how esoteric, is that even the right word, how abstract the notion of beauty can be, is that in a situation like that where there's no beautiful lines, no beautiful people.
Yes. Okay.
You know,
I know what you're saying.
You
yes.
can still see incredible beauty in that moment all of a sudden.
It's
It's not even a particularly kind thing to do, but by the context, like you say in your thing, of the situation where he's not used to that, all of a sudden it's elevated to this place of beauty that it would never have otherwise.
that was the huge problem I had thinking about beauty when I was trying to write this. Is I've seen a lot of people would say terrible things, and there's beauty in it, just in the way it goes. Like broken glass shatters beautifully. Not if it's your glass.
Yeah.
But it does. I've seen it. It's fantastic.
It can be quite beautiful.
There's a
an
whole-
explosion can be beautiful.
Oh.
I saw a pack of not wild dogs, but dogs that were becoming more wild because they were at a tree planting camp and they all kind of bonded together. I saw them take down a baby deer. It's a horrible thing, I suppose, but there was something beautiful about it.
For dogs that didn't know one another to team up and take down a deer,
Yeah.
that's cooperation on a high level.
Well, and there's something really natural and real and primal about that.
Yeah, we
And-
used to see that in grade school when a bunch of boys that really didn't know one another would team up and just
Beat the
bully
crap
some
out of
other
me.
boy, and you think, oh, look at them, they're bonding. That's
It was
beautiful.
me sometimes. Yeah, I didn't always see the beauty in that moment.
Well,
but
you
maybe
weren't on
they
my
did.
side watching it. When I watched it, it was beautiful.
It could have been, and that's again context.
Yeah, beauty's a tough one, man. Beauty is tougher than art, because we did have that discussion on art,
Yes, we did.
and you can put a measure of skill into the art that you can measure that bit of art. You can't measure how much people are going to like it, but you can respect the amount of dedication, work, and practice that went into creating that art form.
Yes, definitely.
And I think beauty is the same, but you'd appreciate, say, the makeup or the dress or what have you. But just for someone to be born beautiful in their culture, that's so lucky. That's life's easy ticket. It's great.
Well, and it's to see those moments, not from just a person, but to see those moments in real life, or to see them in art, or maybe it's to have the ability to see those moments, because some people, you could play them Beethoven string quartets and they may see no beauty there at all. And that's sad in a way, because you sometimes need to be trained to have the skills to see those types of things.
Especially if it's something cultural or involves a skill.
Yeah. It may take that, right?
I suffered through it from you and your brother, because you're both musical elitist dicks.
That's come up more than once.
I've had to sit down and say that I respect the craft, the effort, and the practice that went into something that I subjectively do not like. But I have to sit down and back off and go, okay, I admit it. That is really incredibly talented. There must be something in there that could be, construed as beauty.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. We might not all see it.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, I wonder if there is any objective principles at play there. If there's anything about beauty that can be timeless and eternal. Like a star or a nebula, or
I think you kind of need a human for that. I don't know if animals...
an intelligence, maybe.
I don't know if animals see beauty.
I don't know either. I don't know. I mean, we're animals, but I don't know if less conscious.
Maybe sentience or consciousness is required to appreciate
It
beauty.
could be. I don't know.
Anyway, now that we've solved that, I think
I think yeah, we have solved beauty. That's about all there
Absolutely.
is to beauty. Yeah. I'll have to remember this is 2 clips and edit them together. And you guys won't notice because I'll be smooth. I won't be that smooth. But
no. And
Okay.
if you get a chance, go to our sponsor, Beauty, and buy whatever you need to.
That's right. Was it Athena?
No,
She beauty? No, she's love.
that's Venus,
Venus is love.
the goddess of beauty and love. And Venus was her name. Woo! She's
right.
got it!
Let's be our sponsor, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers. We're friggin' nobodies, and we just talked about beauty.
Yeah, we solved it.
Solved it.
Solved it.
Any more words?
No. See you next
All right.
week.
It's been a beauty, guys.
Take care, eh?